Lil Baby always on the news for everything but his music. Him and his entourage are now being accused of causing 49ers NFL player to be popped in the foot because he wouldn't let them into his private party.
Nobody expected Lil Baby's name to be tied to something like this, especially not involving an NFL player. But now, his name is sitting right in the middle of a serious legal storm after reports surfaced claiming he allegedly opened fire in a situation connected to Keon White. Lil Baby has now stepped forward to speak publicly, trying to shut down the rumors and protect his name. But from the way things are unfolding, it looks like federal authorities may already be digging into the situation. And if that's true, this isn't just gossip. This could get real fast.
Unfortunately, it's looking really bad for Lil Baby, and as I'm going to show you, the police have already been looking very closely into his operation, and this is just going to be the cherry on top, unfortunately, for prosecutors that have been coming forward.
Before we get into what Lil Baby actually said, let's unpack how this whole situation even started. Because this story, it's layered. We're talking about nightlife, pro football, money, egos, and possible investigations, all colliding in one chaotic night. First off, let's talk about Keon White. For anyone who doesn't follow the NFL closely, this isn't some random guy. Keon White is a 27-year-old defensive end standing at 6 feet 4 inches and around 285 pounds. He's built like a tank and gets paid millions to dominate on the field. The San Francisco 49ers traded for him from the New England Patriots back in October, and he was reportedly having one of his strongest seasons yet. This is a player who worked his entire life to reach that level. College athlete, professional contract, big opportunities, generational money, everything lined up. So when his name suddenly started trending because of a late-night incident tied to a rapper, people were confused. And from what's being shared, Keon White isn't known for drama. He's described as focused, career-driven, and not someone who moves reckless, which makes this whole situation even more surprising. How does a top-tier athlete end up connected to something like this? Here's how it reportedly unfolded. February 9th, 2025, right after the Super Bowl. San Francisco was buzzing. The city had just hosted the biggest football event of the year, and celebrations were happening everywhere. After parties, private events, celebrity appearances, the whole scene was active. Keon White allegedly decided to host a private Super Bowl celebration at Dia Lounge on Mission Street. And according to reports, this wasn't a quiet dinner party. It was described as a high-energy nightlife environment. Dancers, cash being thrown around, music blasting, the whole VIP experience. When authorities later documented the scene, they described multiple dancers and dollar bills scattered across the floor. It looked like a typical high-profile after-party, loud, flashy, and full of money in the air. But somewhere during that night, something shifted. Reports claim tension started building. It's not fully clear what sparked it, and that's important. There are different versions floating around. Some say it was an argument. Others suggest outside individuals may have been involved. Nothing has been officially confirmed at this point. What people are questioning now is how Lil Baby's name entered the picture. Was he present? Was he connected to someone there? Or is this another case of names being thrown around before facts are verified? Lil Baby's team appears to be pushing back hard against the accusations. From his public response, he's making it clear he does not want his reputation tied to something criminal. And in situations like this, perception can move faster than proof. But here's where things get serious.
49ers defensive end Keon White. It happened early yesterday morning at a nightclub in San Francisco's Mission District. Our partners at SF Standard report White was hosting a Super Bowl party at Dia Lounge on Mission Street. At some point, White got into an argument involving rapper Lil Baby. That's when White was shot in the ankle. Nearby residents say they were woken up by police activity.
Once federal authorities start looking into a situation, it's not something that just fades away. Even if someone isn't charged, the investigation alone can create pressure, headlines, and long-term damage to a career. So the vibe inside that party, definitely adult only.
The window is like right by my bed, and so I saw lights. Like I think that's why I woke up at first. I kind of knew that it wasn't like the most safe place.
Reports describe dancers performing, cash all over the floor, and a full nightclub energy, just in a private section. It was loud, flashy, and clearly not a low-key celebration. Now here's where things shift. Lil Baby had performed in San Francisco the night before as part of his tour. Instead of calling it a night and heading back to the hotel, it looks like he wanted to stay outside and keep the energy going. And somehow that decision led him toward Keon White's private Super Bowl event. Here's the key detail. From what's being reported, Lil Baby and his crew were not on the guest list. According to documentation, Lil Baby's entourage was upstairs in the main area of the club.
811, police are working to try to find out who opened fire on the set of a music video reportedly featuring Atlanta's very own Lil Baby.
The shooting happened just before 5 o'clock tonight. There is a map right here on your screen of where this all took place on Verbena Street. That's in the Dixie Hills neighborhood in the northwest part of the city.
Meanwhile, Keon White's private celebration was happening downstairs in an exclusive section. At some point, Lil Baby's team allegedly tried to gain access to that lower VIP area. And that's usually where egos start clashing. Picture the scene. You got Keon White, 6 feet 4 inches, 285 pounds, NFL defensive end, hosting his own celebration, surrounded by friends and family. He's in his space, his event, his rules. Then you've got Lil Baby, one of the biggest rappers in the game, arriving with his crew and expecting the kind of access he's probably used to everywhere else. Now, nobody has released full footage or transcripts of what was said, but witnesses told authorities that the exchange turned tense quickly. One account suggested Lil Baby's group was pushing hard to get in. Another version says Keon White refused to budge. From the outside, you can see both sides. A superstar rapper used to VIP treatment everywhere. An NFL player hosting his own private function, not wanting uninvited guests stepping into his moment. Neither one known for backing down easily. And that's when everything reportedly escalated. One witness said the argument grew intense enough that he went upstairs to find a manager to calm things down. But while he was gone, loud pops were heard coming from downstairs. When people rushed back, the scene had completely changed. Keon White was reportedly on the ground with an injury to his left ankle. Panic broke out. Guests ran toward exits. What had been a celebration turned chaotic within seconds. Here's another detail that adds confusion. While one witness claimed they heard 2 shots, another said it sounded like 4. When officers arrived around 4:06 a.m., they reportedly found 2 different shell casings at the scene, one 9mm and 1.45 caliber. That suggests either more than one weapon was involved or more than one person may have fired. And that's where speculation starts flying. Authorities also discovered an abandoned cell phone left behind at the location. And that's important because phones carry everything: call logs, text, location data. If investigators analyze it, that device could reveal a lot about who was present and what happened leading up to the incident. When officers walked in, the contrast was almost surreal. Partygoers still trying to leave, music cutting off, cash scattered across the floor, dancers in performance attire still inside the venue, and now a full investigation underway. One officer reportedly described entering and seeing dollar bills everywhere, dancers still gathering money, and visible signs that something serious had just unfolded. Now here's something else people are talking about. When police questioned Keon White about who was responsible, reports say he declined to identify anyone. He didn't give names. He didn't offer details. He simply didn't cooperate in that moment. That decision raised eyebrows. Some see it as him protecting himself. Others see it as staying quiet under pressure. But officially, no clear suspect was identified at the scene. And here's why. This could become bigger than just one late-night altercation. Lil Baby has faced legal scrutiny before. Federal authorities have reportedly monitored different circles connected to Atlanta's music scene for years. There's been public talk in the past about broader investigations involving various artists and affiliations. Now, that doesn't mean charges are automatic. It doesn't mean guilt. But when a high-profile incident like this surfaces, especially involving an NFL player and multiple weapons reportedly found at the scene, it draws attention fast. When people say authorities are looking into Lil Baby and his circle, they're not talking about a random check-in. From what's been reported over the past few years, there has allegedly been a dedicated task force reviewing activity connected to his organization. And federal agencies don't usually move without time, paperwork, and serious monitoring behind the scenes. We're talking about investigators reviewing associations, public posts, lyrics, movements, everything. That doesn't automatically mean guilt, but it does mean attention. One incident that reportedly intensified that attention involved a music video shoot in Atlanta. And this is where the situation starts to sound unreal. According to reports, Lil Baby filmed a video in a neighborhood where tensions already existed. Not just mild tension, long-standing rivalry. Instead of choosing a neutral location, the production allegedly took place in an area known for past disputes. The visuals from that shoot showed money being displayed, gestures being thrown up, and energy that some people interpreted as confrontational. Supporters saw it as artistic expression. Critics saw it as provocation. Now again, This is where things become sensitive, because in communities where rivalries already exist, public displays can sometimes escalate emotions quickly. After the video circulated online and gained traction, retaliation reportedly followed. Individuals allegedly showed up in Lil Baby's neighborhood in response. But instead of confronting the intended targets, two teenagers, ages 16 and 17, tragically lost their lives during the chaos. And that's the part that hit hardest. Those teens were not reported to be involved in any dispute. They were described as bystanders. Young lives ended in a situation they didn't create. The families were devastated, the community demanded answers, and authorities began asking a different kind of question. Could public actions, even artistic ones, be linked to real-world consequences? Investigators reportedly started examining whether the music video contributed to escalating tensions. Some officials allegedly explored the idea of treating the situation under broader conspiracy-style laws, suggesting that organized activity may have played a role. That doesn't mean charges were proven. It doesn't mean legal responsibility was established in court, but it does show how serious authorities were taking the ripple effects. The argument from officials, based on reports, was that influence carries weight. When someone with a platform makes a move in a tense environment, reactions can follow. Supporters argue that music is expression. Critics argue that timing and location matter. From what's been circulating, investigators didn't just focus on one incident. They reportedly widened the lens to include people around Lil Baby, reviewing backgrounds, finances, social media activity, and communication patterns. When federal agencies build cases, they're known to look at everything: phone records, surveillance, cooperating sources, the full investigative blueprint. And when RICO-style laws enter the conversation, the stakes rise fast. Those cases carry serious time if prosecutors can connect the dots. Another layer people have pointed out is how authorities have allegedly analyzed lyrics. There have been situations in the past where rap lyrics were referenced in courtrooms. So when Lil Baby raps about street life, critics say investigators might interpret those words differently than fans do. Supporters argue it's art. Prosecutors sometimes argue it reflects reality. That debate has followed hip-hop for years. Now here's where things took a noticeable turn. As legal pressure reportedly increased, Lil Baby appeared to make strategic changes. One major move was ending his label 4 Pockets Full, also known as 4PF. According to reports, authorities had started treating it less like a music brand and more like an organization under scrutiny. Soon after, he launched a new imprint called Glass Window. That name didn't seem random. Glass Window suggests transparency, like everything is visible, nothing hidden. Some believe it was a message, a fresh start, clean business, no secrets. A rebrand not just of a label, but of an image. His public persona also shifted. Instead of posts that highlighted street imagery, he began showing business ventures, philanthropy, family moments, investments. The tone changed. It looked more corporate, more structured. There were also reports that he distanced himself from certain associates, especially individuals who could attract unwanted attention. In street terms, people sometimes refer to reckless members of a circle as liabilities. And from the outside, it appeared he was tightening his team. He reportedly leaned heavier into professional advisors, attorneys, financial managers, business consultants. Investments in real estate and restaurants followed. The message seemed clear: evolve from rap star to full-scale entrepreneur. But here's the reality people keep mentioning. Once federal authorities start watching closely, it's not easy to just reset the narrative. And that brings us back to the San Francisco situation. If an incident involves an NFL player, it doesn't stay local for long. The NFL is a multi-billion-dollar organization, and when one of its players is injured in a violent situation, attention multiplies. The league has its own security resources and works closely with law enforcement when necessary. Then there's the San Francisco 49ers organization. They invested heavily in Keon White. If one of their key players is sidelined due to an off-field incident, they're going to want clarity. That's business. San Francisco Mayor Daniel Lurie also publicly addressed the situation, stating that violence in the city is unacceptable and expressing hope for Keon White's recovery. When city leadership speaks out, it signals that the matter is being taken seriously. Another detail that legal analysts have discussed is jurisdiction. Lil Baby is based in Atlanta. The reported incident happened in California. When situations cross state lines, especially involving large organizations and interstate activity, federal agencies can potentially step in. Now, that doesn't automatically mean federal charges are guaranteed, but it does expand who can investigate. If authorities were to connect this incident to any broader case they've been building, prosecutors could attempt to argue a pattern of coordinated behavior. Again, that's hypothetical legal strategy, not a conviction, but it's the kind of angle federal cases sometimes take. On the criminal side, if charges were ever filed, they could include serious allegations related to weapons or intent. On the civil side, lawsuits could also emerge depending on how events are legally framed. And here's what makes this situation delicate. Everything right now is still developing. Allegations are not the same as verdicts. Investigations are not convictions. But when you combine prior scrutiny, a high-profile NFL player, multiple agencies, and national headlines, the pressure builds fast. If prosecutors decide to push serious charges, the consequences could be huge. We're talking possible firearm allegations, conspiracy claims, and even racketeering if authorities try to connect everything. In California, charges involving intent to seriously harm someone can mean very long sentences if proven. Then there's the money side. If Keon White files a civil lawsuit, that could cost millions in lost earnings, medical bills, and long-term impact. The San Francisco 49ers could also claim financial losses if their investment in him is affected. So even outside criminal court, the financial pressure alone could be heavy. That's why speaking publicly is risky. If Lil Baby denies involvement and evidence says otherwise, that hurts him. If he admits being there, that opens legal questions. If he stays silent, people assume the worst. It's a no-win situation. Meanwhile, the music industry moves fast. Labels, venues, and streaming platforms don't like uncertainty. And with federal attention possibly growing, the next few months could shape everything: his career, reputation, and future. If federal prosecutors move forward, things could escalate quickly. In cases like this, authorities sometimes start with smaller players, offering deals in exchange for information. They build cases step by step, using phone records, surveillance, financial trails, social media, even lyrics if they think it fits their argument. Some analysts believe California charges could come first, with federal action possibly following if other investigations are already active. But let's be clear, none of that is confirmed right now. There's no final verdict, no official indictment tied directly to this incident, at least publicly. Still, the pressure alone can shift everything. Lil Baby built a huge career, hit records, sold out tours, major business moves. When someone at that level faces serious controversy, even the headlines can change momentum fast. The industry reacts, fans react, narratives form. The big question is whether this becomes a legal turning point or just another storm that passes. What do you think? Does Lil Baby clear his name, or is this the start of a major setback? Let me know in the comments. If you want more updates like this, like the video, share it, and subscribe so you don't miss what's next. And check out the next video on your screen right now for more celebrity drama. I'll see you in the next one.